November 4, Romeo Charlie Oscar.
Romeo Charlie Oscar, go ahead.
Romeo Charlie Oscar, go ahead.
Roger, sir. I was trying to call you before, but I didn't have the amp on, and I wanted to get checked out, but I guess I'll just wait till tomorrow. How does it sound, though?
You're looking pretty good. Your dynamic range is right on. It's about 3 dB, so your ALC is at the proper level. You're running your compressor on at a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger?
Your compressor on at a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger?
The compressor's not on at all, sir.
Yes, sir. If you would like our setup procedure, it starts with your compressor on at a 3. It's something you'll never hear on the air, but it helps us achieve our dynamic range setting at the end. So, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with the compressor on at a 3. Nothing that you'll ever hear on the air, but like I say, it does help our dynamic range set at the end, Roger.
Like I say, it does help our dynamic range set at the end, Roger.
Roger that. Okay, the compression's on at a 3, sir.
Yes, sir. And also verify that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode. Might ask you first, what's the name there, and what radio you're running?
I'd ask you first, what's the name there, and what radio you're running?
Roger, sir. The name is Ross. The name is Ross, R-O-S-S, November 4, Romeo Charlie Oscar. I'm running ATS 570D, sir.
570D, is that a Roger?
570D, is that a Roger?
That's a Roger. Through a dipole, actually it's made for 4080. It's the RX80. And I'm running a little bit of amp, AL811, running about 200 and 250 watts.
Yes, sir, Ross. And let's see here. Where are you located, sir?
Yes, sir, Ross. And let's see here. Where are you located, sir?
Northeast Arkansas, about 70 miles north of Memphis, sir. QSL.
Roger. Okay, Arkansas. And so after we get our compressor on at a 3, we move to the ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, and you stretch out the first of that audio, you become a human test tone generator. And with the mic gain, adjust your level until you're running 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger?
Until you're running 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger?
Okay, sir.
All right. Now, again, we don't want to stress that word too much. We just want to say it like we would normally say it in a QSO. So double check it just maybe a little bit softer, just like you would normally speak. Roger?
Maybe a little bit softer, just like you would normally speak. Roger?
Roger.
Alrighty, and so you've got 2/3 on your ALC meter now, Roger?
And so you've got 2/3 on your ALC meter now, Roger?
Roger, sir.
Alrighty, let's go to your equalization page, your tone control page.
Alrighty, let's go to your equalization page, your tone control page.
Sir, I'm not that familiar with this radio. I just bought it about 2 weeks ago. I apologize for that, but I don't think I can find that real quick.
All right, let me give you a note on equalizing. If you, we want to keep the mid-range flat. We want to keep everything from 400 cycles to 1.6K flat. The whole idea about an equalizer is to strike a balance to the top of the band, audio band, to the mid-range, and from the bottom of the audio band to the mid-range. And if you move the mid-range, it's so much harder for the top and the bottom to catch up. So much so that the ICOM 7300 and the 7610 don't even bother putting a mid-range control in their tune-up, because they want you to keep that flat. So the word is everything from 400 cycles to 1.6K should be flat. Or if you just have a 3-band EQ, center mid-frequency should be flat, not boost or cut, just flat. and then we want to go to the treble part of your EQ. If it's a 3-band, we want to go 3 clicks additional boost from where you are, plus 3 clicks treble EQ additional from where you are. Roger?
Plus 3 clicks treble EQ additional from where you are. Roger?
Roger that.
All right, and let's see here. Ross, you might check your VFO. I think you might have bumped it. We're on 7188.00, Roger?
We're on 7188.00, Roger?
Roger that. I did bump it. I'm sorry when I was doing some adjustment. I got it back on 88 now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My rule of thumb is if I'm on a frequency longer than 60 seconds, I always hit that lock button, so it'll keep me right on frequency. So you've got the note about additional treble EQ 3 clicks boost from where you are, Roger?
Additional treble EQ 3 clicks boost from where you are, Roger?
Roger, sir.
All right, and I want you to tell me in about 15 seconds or so the best thing you like about your radio, Roger?
The best thing you like about your radio, Roger?
Well, the best thing I like about it is it's pretty easy to operate, and it seems like it gets off pretty good on the side here.
Okay, Ross, I think you're getting some RF in your AF. You sounded distorted that time, so you might be getting RF in your AF, Roger, Roger?
So you might be getting RF in your AF, Roger, Roger?
That's the thing I wanted to ask you about, sir. Every time that I transmit my TV flickers and what have you, I'm running it through a MSJ 915, which is supposed to take care of any back transmissions or what have you, but it doesn't seem to be working. Any suggestions?
Yes, sir. Dump your power amp for just a moment and come back to me barefoot. Dump your power amp and come back barefoot. Let me hear you.
Come back to me barefoot. Dump your power amp and come back barefoot. Let me hear you.
This is barefoot, and I'm at 100 watts.
All right, that's clean, Ross. So you are definitely picking up RF in your AF. So there's a number of ways to do this. The main thing is that it's good to be able to see RF. You know, and I'm not kidding, you can actually see RF. It's called a field strength meter, and as you know, they cost about $8 or something. They're from old CV days. You know, they got a little antenna and a meter, and you can move that around and find out what's hot and what's not. And you want to get your hot spots away from your audio. So a lot of times you might have to run 2 different grounds, or maybe even 3. You want to ground your power amp and your antennas and your antenna switching, all that stuff you want to ground, but you don't want to connect that ground to your radio or your, if you use a preamp or something, you know, you don't want to adjust or connect your power amp ground to your radio ground. So, you know, run 2 grounds, one for your power amp and for your antenna switching, and then one for your radio, and see where that takes you, Roger.
And then one for your radio, and see where that takes you, Roger.
All right, I've got the same ground wire going to the radio and to the amplifier right now. I'm not using the antenna switch. I'm using the one that's building the radio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what I'm saying is you might need 2 grounds. I use old RG8 for the ground lead, you know, because at RF levels, that RG8 looks like a 1-inch copper pipe going to ground, because RF travels on the surface of things. So I use old RG8 to come off my ground stake coming on into the house, and then I use lugs that will fit onto the RG8 and screw these lugs onto the RG8 ends. Take the insulation off about 1/2 inch, put these connectors on, then screw them down, and then you can attach those to your lugs on your radio and your power amp. Roger, Roger?
To your lugs on your radio and your power amp. Roger, Roger?
Roger, do you use the center core of the RG8 or the outside shield, outside braiding?
Mostly the outside, but I do, you know, many times I will fold the center conductor back on top of the braiding and use the whole thing, Roger.
Conductor back on top of the braiding and use the whole thing, Roger.
Roger that. Okay. Well, right now I'm just running some 14-gauge regular copper wire going to my pole in the ground, and that's coming to straight to my amplifier and my radio.
Yeah, so the first thing is to detach your amplifier from your radio. That will get a lot of RF away from your radio to get that RF out of your audio. And then you should run two grounds. One ground is for your power amp, and the other ground is for your radio. Roger, Roger?
Is for your radio. Roger, Roger?
Roger, Roger. Does it have to be two different grounding poles, or are they both from the same grounding pole?
Now, I would put another grounding pole. I'm running three. I'm actually running three, but you could probably get away, right now, try two, and separate grounds, and you should separate those grounds by at least 5 or 6 feet. Roger?
And you should separate those grounds by at least 5 or 6 feet. Roger?
Roger that. Okay, well, I sure appreciate the information, sir, and I'm going to try this ground wire. Maybe that's what's causing my RF. I know I've got some because I see my cameras flickering, my monitors, and also my TV. So I know, even though I'm going through this MSJ 915, it's supposed to take all that out, and it doesn't seem to be doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, if you get a chance, go to... wherever you might go to get equipment. See if you can track down a field strength meter for about $10. That'll help you a great deal because you can actually sniff around with that little antenna lead on the field strength meter, and it's got a calibration knob on it. You can make it as sensitive as you want, and then look around your shack and find out where that RF is, because it'll show you, high concentrations of RF, and there's nothing else that can really do that, just like that field strength meter for $10, but you could go ahead and just automatically go ahead and just do two grounds, and try to keep those grounds from running together as much as you can, the leads back into your shack, and then make the leads as short as you can, one to your power amp and one to your radio stuff. Roger?
And one to your power amp and one to your radio stuff. Roger?
Roger, sir. Okay, I really appreciate it very much, sir. I didn't catch your name, but I did catch your call sign, KC9VKV. And I appreciate all the help, and I know that you're overtime here, so I'll let you go. Best wishes, 70 degrees. God bless. Thanks so much for the help, friend.
Roger, Ross. Just out of curiosity, try coming up on your power amp, and let me hear you just for a minute.
Try coming up on your power amp, and let me hear you just for a minute.
Power amp is on. I'm up to about 250, 300 watts.
All right, now move your microphone away from your power amp as far as you can get it, and see what that does. You want to move away from your power amp as far as you can get it and see what that does.
From your power amp as far as you can get it and see what that does.
Okay, it's about 6 feet away from the power amp right now.
Yeah, it's still in there. And also you might try moving your antenna lead away from your radio. In other words, instead of bringing that lead in, it has to pass by your radio. Bring it the other way to where it goes right to the power amp instead of near the radio. Roger?
Near the radio. Roger?
I am on another microphone now. I've been told that the microphone that I was using sometimes has RF. Is this microphone any different?
Sounds clean to me. I just lost my SDR up in Milford. Let me see if I can bring that back. I think she just kicked me off, but we'll see here just real quick. Yeah, maybe. Let me just see. Audio check 1 2 3 4.
Yeah, audio check 1 2 3 4.
Yeah, I got Milford back. Okay, so come on back to me. Let me see if I got you.
Let me see if I got you.
Okay, this is November 4, Charlie Oscar. Okay, this is November 4, straight microphone without the power amp. This is with the power amp. Okay, and this is November 4, Romeo Charlie Oscar. Okay, and this.
Yes, sir. That was clean. That was clean, man. I would run that microphone, Roger. And there's another thing you can try, and that is an old CB cure that you take a ground strap out of a piece of RG8, run it down through the center part of your microphone coil, and connect the one into the microphone and the other into the radio, and sometimes you can get a better ground that way, Roger.
Get a better ground that way, Roger.
Roger that, sir. I do appreciate your assistance, and I'll try those things, and thanks so much for your help today, sir.
Yes, sir. Now, that mic is kind of mid-rangey. Do you know where your equalization page is?
Equalization page is?
No, sir. I've tried to find that on the menu, and I haven't come across it yet.
All right, just make sure your mid-range is flat. Everything from 400 cycles to 1.6 is flat. Then add 3 clicks additional treble boost. And if you have a more involved equalizer, the frequency to boost is 2.7K at a width of 4. 2.7K is the boost frequency for your equalizer if you have that capability, at a width of 4 if you have that capability. If it's just treble, plus 3 clicks treble boost from where you are. Roger?
Treble boost from where you are. Roger?
Roger, sir. Copy. Okay, thanks so much, sir. I appreciate your help. Did you say that I can listen to this recording somewhere?
Yes, sir. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, we'll have this posted by noon tomorrow, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,400 Qso-Vlog air check recordings. It'll be cut number 1, and we'll have it by noon tomorrow. Roger, on a YouTube search, KC9VKV logbook.
The VKV logbook.
Sir, okay. I sure appreciate your help, sir, so very much. KC9VKV, which is N4RCO.
Roger, Ross, 73, sir. And this is KC9VKV completing our Qso-Vlog net for this afternoon. And if you have participated, want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,400, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. And with that, we'll say 73 all. This is KC9VKV returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV clear.